Hi everyone, specifically April and Katie. So this week's question is, what does literacy look like in my classroom and how is reading taught? Well, there isn't too much reading and writing in literacy in my classroom because it is geography. So a lot of it is visual based. The thing though is that he does do some reading and writing at the beginning of the class with these daily starters. So usually that's a question or two and it kind of gets their creative juices flowing and gets them thinking about the subject of the day. For example, there's ones like, what kind of jobs are specific in Colorado, and that is directly in correlation with the places that these jobs are done. So for example, there is like Aspen is like a X Games skier. That's where they would live. So that kind of gets them thinking about like, oh, maybe jobs are isolated to geographical location, or at least when they first start. For example, like Trinidad was for coal mining, but isn't so much anymore. Well, besides that, there isn't too much reading and writing. A lot of it has to do with map reading, and even our vocabulary is danced out rather than written down. There are written quizzes, but most of the time it's like a dance where they have like human geography, where you point to yourself and then you do, and their lifestyle, and kind of do this little dance move kind of thing. So there really isn't that much reading and writing, but the cool thing about geography is that there is map reading. And this isn't quite literacy per se, but I guess you can call it literacy in the form of geography. So what they do is they look at the scale, and so they get to measure in between like continents and seas, and countries and countries, cities and cities in Colorado, because there's world geography, and then there's also, you know, local geography where it mostly focuses on Colorado and some of North America, when you're looking at like plateaus and plains and hills and valleys. And I figured out what a gorge and a valley have in difference, which is a gorge is much deeper, while a valley is wider, but that's not really important. At least not to the purpose of this video. So their reading is really just a skill, like a map skill, and that's really cool to me because they learn how to read these pictures. You don't usually think of pictures being read, but in geography you actually get to read pictures and you get to discover things and how far away things really are, and the way that people travel, the anthropological dispersion of people when they are first going from different continents. You get to see, you know, this is how long this mountain chain is, and it's really important to the way that people live their lives in that area. And also, you know, this is, for example, like there's some mountains that are that break of Asia and Europe, because a lot of times it's referred to as Eurasia, but there actually are mountains that break them up. So I guess when you're talking about literacy, you're not really talking about reading and writing in this classroom, rather as in literacy being able to read maps and symbols and north, south, east, west directions, figure out where you are in relation to the world. And I think that's a really cool skill that you have for learning your place in this world in context to other people. Well, that's about all that I have today. I know this question was a little hard for me because of geography, but I hope you enjoyed my answer. Have a great day.